Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We are so excited to have you with us. So, yes, this is our first moon ceremony on the new channel, A Lighthouse Tapestry. So, if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and join us. So, we are seeing some new names in the comment box and also some very familiar names. So, if you want to give a shout out as to where you're from, that would be great. And we're very excited to do this tonight because this is a very strong moon that is happening for us. And it will be actually in effect for 3 nights, 3 nights before and 3 nights after. So we're actually in the energy of that right now. And if you go and look outside tonight, you should probably see a full moon. But right now, let me go ahead and give a nod to the rest of our people here. So we have Wendy that's here, and Ruby from Ruby's Lighthouse Tarot, Denise from Spirit Dragon Tarot, and Morgan from Tourmaline Tarot. So this ceremony is going to be very much a part of what you can do for the next several days as we are looking at this energy. The burning part is, to me, a way for us to completely release in a more positive way the things that maybe have been weighing us down. And there's been a lot of different people that are trying to talk about how this is a very strong energy that's going on. I think it's just more related to, we just came off some very powerful eclipses. So I think this is our nice time to just take a beat, take a breath. And in order for us to get relaxed more into all of this, we're going to go to Ruby from Ruby's Lighthouse Tarot, and she is going to do a clearing for us. So I'm going to put up, oops, let me remove that first. Remove that and then add that. Okay. One more time. There. Okay. And I will make it the whole screen. So go ahead, Ruby.
All right, everybody. So we're going to take a grounding breath here. Let's get our eyes closed. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold. And then release slowly through your mouth. Do this 2 more times. With every inhale, feel life force energy filling you. With every exhale, release the weight of the day. Imagine roots growing gently from the soles of your feet into the earth, strong, steady, grounding you. Above, a brilliant Aries full moon shines like a lantern of fire in the night sky. You are held between earth and sky. Bring your awareness to your heart center. Imagine a glowing ember there, small but steady. With each breath in, this ember brightens. With each breath out, it spreads warmth through your chest. Now see it becoming a powerful flame, burning with Aries energy. Red, gold, fierce. This flame is courage, passion, action, and truth. Say to yourself silently, I ignite my purpose. I call back my power. Feel the flame expanding through your whole body. The fire does not harm. It clears, purifies, and strengthens. Above you, the Aries full moon beams a silver white firelight that pours into the crown of your head. See it moving slowly down your body, through your mind, throat, shoulders, chest, belly, hips, legs, and feet. Wherever this light travels, it loosens old tension, breaks through blockages, and carries away stagnant energy. Breathe deeply as the moonlight merges with your inner flame. Notice what is leaving. Doubt, hesitation, fear. Allow the light to lift it out of your body like smoke drifting into the stars. You may even imagine cords dissolving, doors unlocking, walls falling away. You are being cleared, opened, and prepared for bold new beginnings. Now feel your flame and the moonlight uniting. Your entire being glows with fiery radiance. You are luminous, unstoppable, and free. See yourself standing in an open field under the full moon, with your arms wide and your heart open. The universe hears you. I am cleared. I am open. I am powerful. I am ready to begin anew. Place your hands over your heart and take one last deep, grounding breath. Feel gratitude for this moment, for the moon, and for your own strength. When you're ready, gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Smile softly and open your eyes, carrying the fiery blessing of this Aries full moon with you. Turning it back over to Dawn.
I didn't make it through the week without muting myself and not unmuting myself when it came time. So welcome everyone that's here. Just a reminder to subscribe so that you'll be able to get our moon rituals again. We're having a beautiful new one in Libra in 2 weeks. So that will be very much about setting intentions for relationships. So I think that's very important. And today I really wanted to kind of look back at the fact that this is the first moon cycle that isn't an eclipse in about a month. So we have had this very strong energy, and the south nodes, which are very tied to the eclipses, freeze and stay in place the entire time that eclipse season goes on. So it's been at 18 degrees. And just a couple days ago, we had Venus crossing that south node. So there could have been something that you felt a release from. Venus could be either a romantic relationship or relationships that we have with other women. And also, I feel that it's because it was in Virgo, is the things that maybe that have held us back in our own identity, that we're releasing that now. A lot of the people that were born from like 1956 to like 1972 have Pluto in Virgo, and we were taught to be seen and not heard, and we had to have a certain dress code at work and wear nylons under slacks and have we couldn't wear dangly earrings, just a plethora of rules that we had to follow as we were growing up, and be more subservient, I guess, would be how I think I was taught, that was more of my role, to be more focused on the home, which I'm a Cancer mom, so it's not a problem, but it's not the only thing that I am. And I think that's what we need to recognize in each one of ourselves, is that we are more than what we've been defined as. And I think that what we need to focus on coming forward is, we just had this eclipse season end, technically. We'll get the strength of the eclipses for the next 6 months, especially if it hit you personally. But this full moon actually is the full moon from an Aries eclipse that happened 6 months ago in March of 29, March 29th, I believe was the date. And I'm going to bring that chart up because I want to show you, because that was a very difficult time for some people. So I wanted to bring the chart up just so we could take a look at it quickly. And let me just go ahead and make this. Oh, I don't want to do that. I can make that a little bigger. How about this? Okay. We'll go with this because this shows nicely. So what we have here, as you can see, there's just a ton of stuff that was going on in Pisces at the time. Venus was there, Saturn was there, Neptune was there, all of this energy. And we had the eclipse happening at 9 degrees, 9 degrees of for a solar eclipse. And that was a series of 5 new moons that had started and were at that 9 degree mark, including the Aquarius one that had happened and some of the other ones that had happened. And this was what that eclipse was all about us really trying to tune into our own selves, because it's an Aries eclipse, us kind of setting that intention as to what we're going to do going forward. And we had all of the energies of the Venus retrograde was going on then. And Mercury was also in, Mercury had started its retrograde. So Mercury's retrograde was going on then. So if you can think back to maybe some rougher times, starting from like March 1st, all the way into April, because a lot of times it'll go retrograde and then it'll turn around and then it has to cover up all that ground that it had just been retrograde over. So there was so much that changed. And then I realized today, while I was looking at this again, that, we were going through some things with the channel at that time. And now we're in a completely different place 6 months later. And I think that has happened to a lot of people, where they were 6 months ago is completely different than where they are now and what they expected. So I wanted everyone to kind of be aware of this particular thing, as far as what the energies are from that eclipse that was in Aries 6 months ago, because it's always the new moon. And then 6 months later, we get the full moon, the culmination. So what can we release that has happened since that time? I think that there's a lot that has changed. And what we're being asked to do now is release some of the things that are no longer a vibrational match for us for whatever reason. And sometimes it's somebody else's decision and sometimes it's ours. Sometimes you're moving, you've lost your job, you're changing your different job situations. So what is something that you think that you may want to release that you don't think is serving you anymore? Maybe you're wanting to go on to a different job. So this is a way for you to put in a very nice, gentle ending into that energy, and then set new intentions for when the new moon comes up. And that'll be the new moon in Libra, which is at 28 degrees. And that's going to be a very beautiful and helpful new moon to all of us. It'll especially be, I think, a great tool for us in creating new relationships and finding our tribes and finding those people that are special to us and the people that are going to help us learn as we move forward. So let me go ahead and just remove that. I don't know if anybody has anything that they want to add to any of that, but I do feel like that has been a big change for us. And it's all about the eclipses, the eclipse that was 6 months ago, the last 2 eclipses that were in Virgo. And for me, that is that, us realizing that we're more than what we were defined as in the past. And I think that we're going to be stepping into that more and more. So what we want to do now is we're just going to pull some cards quick before we go into the energy of the ritual. So we're
Can I
going to
ask
start.
something really quick? Sorry.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Just
Wendy.
with the eclipses and everything, and with the 6-month thing, I feel like the eclipses were kind of catalysts in a lot of way to bring in certain energy that we needed to work through for things where we had blocks, where the work, it brought in those towers, right? It brought in those tower moments of things that we've been either avoiding or just not wanting to deal with, things lessons that we have kind of kept putting on the back burner. And it's like the universe is just like, nope, no more. You need to deal with this right now. So it became that kind of catalyst and brought in those towers so that we could do the work. And now 6 months later, it's like, I would say for most of us, we have done that work. So now it's like, it's really, for me, I feel kind of like with this releasing and letting go of that, it's like you've kind of graduated, it's like, okay, I've learned the lesson. I did the work. I'm good. Now I get to take that knowledge and step forward into this new path, this new cycle that's ahead of me, and like, I'm ready for the next lesson, kind of a thing. So it's very fulfilling in that way, that it feels like, okay, good. I've got that done, kind of check. Let's move on to the next thing. And just feeling like in just a much better position for the new things that are coming in, feeling way more stable, more grounded, more focused. So I hope that resonates for others as well, who are watching and feeling like, yes, you've finally had some sort of resolution with some of these things. And I feel like with all of the eclipses we've had and so many tower months we've had, it's like there's more to come. There's more to come, because if you're doing the work, and then you're going to get there. And it's like it's almost like we're getting these kind of quicker paced graduating levels of our ascension and this awakening, right? It's kind of speeding it up a little bit, speeding up the process a little bit.
We'll get there one tower at a time.
Exactly. Yes, one at a time, please, right? But I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have experienced that. It just felt like it was just one thing after another. And before you could get that closure on the first tower that came in, another tower was coming in, right? So it's like you felt like you were kind of getting bombarded from every direction. I know that was my experience. But now it's like, now I'm starting to see, okay, that's come to a close. Like that I has concluded. I've resolved that. And now the next thing, okay, that's resolving, that's closing. And it's like, so it's more and more where you're starting to kind of feel that the success of that, you know what I mean? It's like, at first it was just kind of like, oh dear God, like I can't handle anymore, please stop. But now it's like, okay, I took care of that. Okay, now I took care of that. Now, you know what I mean? So it's gaining these resolutions that really helps us to move forward, because it's given us the lessons. And like I said, we've done the work. Because if it was affecting you personally, it's because you were ready. You were ready to do the work, whether you were aware of it or not at the time. You were ready, and so then it kind of forced the issue, and so you started to do the work, and now you're going to find that you're coming to the end of that. And so, but what the position you're in now is it's so much more powerful, and so yes, there's going to be new stuff coming in, but you're going to be in such a good place to handle it coming in that it's not going to hit in the same way. In fact, it's going to be far more positive, because you're just like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Yes, I'm ready to do this now, so it's like the momentum is really starting to build, and it's super exciting. It's a really, really exciting and very energetic time. I feel like I'm vibrating, like, whoa, I can just feel like the goosebumps all over. And, it's just like our vibration.
Well, it's just like we did it. It's like that's how I feel. Like I have literally just been pounding away at trying to get through it, clawing my way. And then all of a sudden I'm like, it's still standing.
Right? Like, oh, yeah. I'm okay. I did it. I got through to the other side. All right. Yeah. Sweet.
Well, and there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up, and we are turning the corner. And the reason I think that we're getting a lot of repeat. Saturn right now is going back over those same degrees that was in the
Right.
Aries eclipse back when. And so it's re-bringing up some of those issues, but now it's like, okay, now I'm going to get it right. Now the thing that was the problem
Right.
before, now I'm
Right.
correcting it. And it's still going retrograde, but we're fixing the problem. And
Exactly.
that'll be a couple more, it's retrograde by, I believe, until at least the end of November. And then it will start to go direct and move forward. And then it's like, we're in the process of all those things that were towers before. It's like, okay, now I can sort my way through them. And looking at people's personal charts, when you see how it looks, because then we get a trine to Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to be helping Saturn, especially as we progress more in the next couple months,
Right.
especially through the end of November. So it's really great energy for everyone. And again, it kind of is bringing up the things that may have been a problem back during those retrogrades, because when Venus retrogrades and Mars retrogrades, and Mars technically was still in its shadow, so we still had that going on. And so it was really a rough time for multiple people out there. And now it's like, okay, after you had, I mean, those were huge towers. And sometimes it's like, it's what made people move to a new location. It's what made people change jobs. It made us get out of a comfort zone that wasn't a great place, but it's familiar. So we stick with what's familiar. And really, that's not for our greatest and highest good. So when you are actually getting bombarded with tower moments, you're right. It's because we're ready. We're ready to learn those lessons. And that's how it's like, and things are going to change pretty quickly. So they're like, okay, we don't have any time to waste here. Let's get these lessons learned. Let's go. And so I think anybody, especially anybody that watches spiritual channels like this, and it's telling them good information as to, yeah, we're still feeling our way along the path, but we feel like we're getting there. We feel like we're on the right path, and we may not be able to see more than a foot or two in front of us, but we know that we're on the right path. So I think that's the bigger energy to take with us as we're moving forward in all these things. So with that, I think we'll go ahead and move on to the cards, because I'm convinced we're going to have some really good cards come out now. So I will send it off to Denise so she can get us started.
Well, I'm pulling from the sacred feminine, and Spirit has a sense of humor because the card I pulled was be still. So you're saying move, move, move. And this is saying be still. So the speed of your world is dizzying. Your physical body has trouble keeping up. The heightened level of stimulation, which is exciting to your sacred masculine nature, takes a toll on your nervous system, affecting your moods and your sleep patterns. So basically that's what was happening, right? So maybe this is saying that it's stopping, it's slowing down. So now be still and, process it. Don't jump into it too fast. Just let it flow, right? Take a moment to breathe and stop the whirlwind. Play in the realm of the sacred feminine for a while. When was the last time that you sat still for more than 20 minutes, right? I can't even tell you, right? So try it now, right? Move to a comfortable position and find gentle space to relax. Be still like a deer or a rabbit. Settling your body into stillness is the first step. Now still your mind, which is another thing, right? The mind will try to convince you that every chore or task is more important than your well-being. Without judgment, notice your thoughts chatter away. Then, with loving regard, let them flow onward. Your sacred self waits for your moments of stillness to emerge. Be still and remember who you are. In the silence, feel your connection to the great mystery. So, monkey mind, right? We can sit still, do whatever, but then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, I wonder how many beavers it takes to build a dam across the Rio Grande or whatever, right? Something comes up. And so be still and enjoy this time. I'm not sure when the next eclipse is, but I know that a lot of us were affected by these eclipses. So let's enjoy this time And now I'm passing it to Wendy.
All right. Thank you, Denise. That makes me think of like the calm before the storm. You know, it's like take that minute for yourself to just, yeah. Okay. So you are so gonna laugh, Dawn, because I perked up right before you right after Ruby's reading when you came back on. You talked about the new moon in Libra. That's the card I pulled. So I pulled from Moonology Oracle, and I got new moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins. And let's see. So, give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning. And if that's the case, the chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish, as it won't get you anywhere at this time. So you want to reach out to someone and let them know you care. You want to feel more and think less. Marriage or engagement could be in the cards, or a legal matter could go your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. Libra is the sign of love and harmony, negotiation and relationships. It is harmonious, kind, and luxurious, and always aiming for balance. So when we have the new moon in Libra, or at any time you draw this card, there's a restart possible for anything and everything connected to partnerships, negotiations, appearances, and justice. Remember that Libra is depicted by a set of scales. This energy wants to bring things back to equilibrium. So I just thought that was too funny that came up at the same time, and that we're going to be having the new moon in Libra come up. So I would say this is kind of on what's next on our path. So start to be thinking about that, being open to that energy, and allowing. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this on to Morgan.
Thanks, Wendy. Okay, so the card that came out for me, and I'm pulling from the Gateway Oracle cards, and these are by Denise Lynn. And the card that came out after shuffling, it just flew out, was Renewing Your Life. And it says, Radiant Vitality is filling my life. And it's really cool because I saw like kind of a moving box. And so we've been talking about people moving and changing, this type of thing. And then I was really honing in on, like, I was really drawn to a lot of things on this card. And what came to me was this release brings joy for yourself and others. So if you're just clutter clearing, if you're doing that, anything you're donating and releasing will bring joy for yourself and for the people you're donating to. Okay. The other thing that I was drawn to as well was in the back, there's this like little pink tree, and I was thinking cotton candy. And then I was thinking, okay, it's time to release sugar, if anyone's drawn to do that. And also the color purple, which for me, I resonate that as safety. So release things that you don't feel safe, like people, places, and things that no longer make you feel safe. As well, I saw the color orange, which was the sacral chakra. Okay. So to work on things like sexuality, creativity, and joy. And Himalayan bath salt. So to work with that, if you feel drawn to that. So as well, garnet, carnelian, and citrine came up when I was looking at this card. A lot of stuff when I was looking at this card. Anyway, I'm going to read about this. It says renewing your life, and it says radiant vitality is filling my life. The card meaning is a powerful inner and outer renewal is occurring in your life. Purification is happening on many levels. Take your life to the next level by clutter clearing, release situations and people that don't empower you. Space clear your environment and eat lightly. In order for renewal to occur, the old needs to make way for the new. The universe wants you to know sometimes it's difficult for exciting experiences to come into your life if your auric field or your personal space is cluttered. There's simply no room for something new. When you purify your life, you create the space for new opportunities to come flooding in. If you have a sense that your auric field, your living space, or your body have become cluttered or dingy, this is the time to do some inner and outer clearing. Okay? Questions to ask yourself. Is there anything I need to purify or clear out of my life? Is there anything that needs to be renewed or re-examined in my life? How can purification help me become clearer channel for myself and others? All right. And so with that, I'm going to pass it back on to Dawn. Thanks.
Hello. So, what I'm going to do is remind everybody what they might want to have close to them. So, we did recommend a piece of paper because we are going to burn this. Yay. And I'm so sorry Sari isn't here because I get the biggest kick out of watching her rip her stuff up and light it up just to burn it off. So really all you need is the paper and the pen to write it on. And if you're going to do the burn ceremony with us, I always have water right in front of me. Number one, I like that to bring in that element of water. I do have things around me that'll bring in the elements. So if you are watching this on recording, or if you aren't prepared and want to come back and watch the recording, go ahead and do that. And then you can just walk through the steps with us as we go through. But anyone that is with us now or watches this on recording, that is a quantum energy that we're all bringing in together. So even though you technically are watching on a recording, you are part of the energy because we don't have time and space in quantum. And it's very much something that we have that's how we manifest and make our intentions known, is we manifest in the quantum now, in that energy. So that's what we're going to have you do to release with the ceremony. So I will go ahead and start this with everyone. So I'm going to start just briefly. I do have, this is a Florida water, and it's a beautiful scent. So I like to bring all the senses into it. So if you have something that is some kind of essence for yourself that puts you in a good frame of mind or helps you meditate, this would be a good time to apply that, or a perfume that brings you joy. It's always better to use the things that give you joy than just let them sit unused, but in a very pretty container. So I will have you really try and utilize the things around you. So with that, it's beautiful scent. So what we will do is I'm going to go ahead and with starting any kind of ceremony, we like to show the initiation of it and also the ending of it. And I do that symbolically by lighting a candle. So I will go ahead and light my candle. If you have a candle that you would like to light with us, please do so now. And I do like this particular candle set. I use this quite a bit. It's a beautiful, beautiful aroma. Okay, so I have my candle that is glowing. And with that, I'm going to welcome in the energies of 4 of the archangels: Archangel Michael for protection, Archangel Sandalphon, he's one of my personal archangels, love of music and writing, and Archangel Raphael to help us all with our healing journeys, and Archangel Uriel, who is very much loud right now, I think, because we are experiencing a lot of Uranus energies, and very associated with that kind of energy and helping us move through our path. So we are asking for their protection and guidance as we go through this ceremony. I want to bring out my chime to symbolize vibration and air. I will strike this 3 times. So we have fire that represents the candle, and we have this, the bell that represents the air sound. We have the water that is already here, and I do have a crystal. So this is the crystal that I'm using today. And I would choose a crystal if you're going to use one that would make you comfortable. And this is for me about releasing. So what I plan on doing, and I will actually do it now, is I'm going to place this crystal in my bowl of water. So that kind of ties all of that energy together. And what we're going to address right now is, what are the kind of things that we want to release with the Aries energy? And we have been talking about what's been going on the last 6 months, what's happening now, and the way that the astrology is going to be actually helping us to move through these energies. Fortunately, we're in a kind of a quiet week that's moving forward. And in the next 2 weeks, I think it's more of a gentler energy. So that does give us time to, kind of rest and recover. I did a card reading earlier on today, and I got the Four of Swords out, but it was like, it wasn't anything that meant anything more than, this is a time to rest and recover and rejuvenate and get back your energy from being slightly off balance. So with the Aries energy, what are we usually talking about? That would be with the self, that the Aries are often considered kind of the children of the zodiac. It's the very first sign. It's a sign that's going to be having a lot of energy in it over the next coming months, because we're going to have a big conjunction at that 0-degree point. We are getting ready for brand new things to be coming in. So to clear the space of those things that we no longer want with this full moon in Aries, gives us an opportunity to clear those things out, so those brand new things that are coming in Aries can have a place in our lives. So what I wanted to also do is, I did actually get out my Aries intentions that I had set. Our new moon intentions, I always write on a really nice piece of paper. This was something that Sri had given all of us, was note cards. And so I've been writing my intentions on these note cards every month for the new moons. And what I had asked for at that time was more that I was grateful to be starting a new life, grateful for the new gifts that have been opening up, and the fact that there have been new gifts that have been coming in. And I think everybody can feel that they've had either new gifts that they're just discovering how to use, or gifts that they've had that have all of a sudden become even stronger. And I think you can feel that energy coming through. And I was grateful for the power and the courage that the Aries energy can bring. To me, there's nothing that is braver than what an Aries energy can be. It's what I know at one time we were talking about, everything that you want is on the other side of fear of trying something new. So really look at the energies that Aries is bringing in, and what you can see from that full moon. It's not just about releasing, but it's about what is showing you what is a new path maybe that you can be going on. So I am grateful for new friendships and neighbors. So that those are the energies that I chose to look at. But I was really, I think, focused on the new gifts that were coming in with that energy for Aries. So the other things that you can be releasing is especially with that new moon. I keep thinking, with this new moon in Libra coming up, there's so many relationships that have changed in the past 6 months, a lot to do with the eclipse energies, because they have been all over the place. So I want you to feel free to release those energies. And sometimes friendships just naturally drift apart. I have people that I used to do a lot of things with when my children were in school, which was a long time ago. And now I don't have that much to do with them anymore. It's not that I don't like them anymore. It's just that we don't have any commonality and we're not a vibrational match anymore. So you can release that energy with, okay, I know that I'm in a different place in my life, so I'm going to move forward with that. And I give love and grace to anyone that I have in my past that I seem to have moved apart from. So I think that is a great energy to utilize as part of this release that we're going to be doing. And again, this is going to be perfecting tomorrow evening. I think it's like 11 p.m. Eastern time. And the moon tomorrow is going to be beautiful when it rises. It'll be very large. It's going to be a super moon. So it'll have that extra boost energy. And I think that with us taking advantage of all of these moon ceremonies, it really gives us a chance to kind of go with the ebb and flow of what's going on in the astrology, and also with the collective. I think the people whose charts I've been reading, the collective has chaos that's coming. We know that. But it seems like the personal charts have all been just fine. Yes, we're working through issues, but we're actually getting on top of them and moving ahead with things and changing things in a way that we're happy about. So I think that is something that we can realize as far as our energies are going. So with that, I think we are ready. If you've been writing anything down, by the way, you are allowed to use bad words. So if you want to use bad words when you're writing something about being released, go ahead, because no one's going to see it but you. And there were times that I had to do that when I was particularly upset. But I think whenever you have those kind of things, a good thing is to journal and burn. Journal and burn. And someone had told me that was when you're going through a rough time, that is something that is actually really helpful. And sometimes even just journaling, and then you can set aside that particular thing and come back in the future and see what lessons that you've learned. So either way, for you. Have you gotten everything written down that you want to write down? I like to fold mine up, and I get great joy. I'll hold you before we start tearing, because I think we need to take a little bit of a journey and do this release in the quantum together. So what I want you to do with your paper is hold it to your heart. And this is the part of the journey that we take together into the quantum. I want you to close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold it at the top of the breath. Slowly release it out. We'll do that again. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top of the breath. Slowly release it out. The last one. Take a deep breath in. Hold. And slowly release out. And in your mind, we are walking along a beach. It is the full moon. And you can see it across the waves. We're standing there at the ocean's edge, feeling the water slightly lap our toes. And looking out at the moon, you can see that the light creates a path directly to you. And even as you start to walk along, it's like the moon is always providing that path for you moving forward. And you can feel that energy, the energy of the tides. And in the distance ahead of you, you can see a fire burning bright and huge. The sacred fire that calls us in. And you start to see other people along the beach, coming from all directions. walking in from the woodlands and walking into a protected cove where our fire is. You see many old faces that you greet and you share laughter with, and many new faces that you welcome in. I'm so glad to share the energy with new people. And we all start to form our circles around this fire, almost like we're feeling it's a spiral. And in the center, we can see the fire start to rise up with all the energy of the people around it. This is our quantum space. And into this energy comes the three moon goddesses. Hecate, goddess of the dark of the moon. She rules during the new moon. And Selene, the goddess of the full moon. She is presiding over this ceremony. And Artemis, goddess of the quarter moons, the crescent moons, with her bow and arrows, the huntress, a very active force. Selene asks that we concentrate all of our energy on our heart chakra and feel all of our warmth and joy of being in this moment. And then asks that we pour anything that we want to release into our paper that we're holding to our heart. Give it any emotion that you no longer want to carry with you, that no longer serves you, that is blocking you from moving forward. Send that energy into that paper. It is no longer important to you. Feel the peace that comes over your heart chakra as it releases old wounds and makes space for better things to come in. And with that energy, Selene sends a rainbow around and around the circles to energetically pick up all that we have released and bring it into the energy of the fire to purify and release and to make the flames shoot up even higher. We will energetically walk forward to the fire and energetically add our pieces of paper into that fire ourselves. So not only did our heart chakras get cleared, but we will clear ourselves of this energy by putting it into the fire on our own. And you can watch your paper start to burn in this quantum space. And you can see as the smoke starts to rise and clear and disappear. And you can step back away from the fire and watch as other people deliver their releases. We want to slowly come back into our own energy. We are going to slowly start to wiggle our toes and wiggle our fingers and slowly open our eyes. And now we have our own paper that has now gotten all this energy into it. And this is where we can have our moment of fun, because I love this part. I like to rip up, I like to rip up the paper into strips for myself. And it's very satisfying when you hear it ripping. So it's kind of an extra bonus to have that sound energy. So I have my flame. I will light this. I am going to keep it above my water bowl. So we have this, and I will put it into the fire. I have Mars in the first house. I'm always burning my little fingertips whenever I do that. So with this energy, we have released that whatever was holding us back into this energy. And again, we have several days that we can continue to use this energy, so you can come back into this moment and walk through these steps again by watching the video, especially if there's things that you maybe want to add to that energy that to be released after you've had time to think about it. So with this, we can now begin to close out our ceremony. And I am going to close with I just feel like the sound is really important this time around. Normally I don't do this as many times, but for some reason the sound seems to be something I think we need. So 3 strikes. And with this energy, we thank the archangels for being with us and guiding us through the next several days. And with that, we close our ceremony by blowing out our candle. So thank you very much. Oh, this lovely little haze going on from me now. Thank you for being a part of this with all of us. And if you all want to come back up stage here, we do have a lot going on in the next couple days. And also, please like and subscribe so you can join us in 2 weeks. But there's a free thing tomorrow that Nat and I will be doing. It's Money Magic, and that will be available on our channel for you to watch. It's free, about using your second house to help you with your money manifestation. So there's that going on tomorrow. My Learn As You Go class is going on, and it starts a new month. So if you want to be a part of that, that information will be made available as well. So thank you so much for joining us all. Does anybody have anything else other than our Thursday night live? We may be changing the night of that eventually, but we will be at the next live will be this Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Come join us. It gives you a chance to get your card, maybe get a card pulled for you if you're at the live. So that's really a fun activity for everyone here. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you again very soon. We love to see all the great supporters that we have and all the new faces that showed up. So fabulous. Thank you so much. And everybody have a good night.